Well, look, I know that this is entirely a me problem. I can't say anything otherwise, but I have never enjoyed a Mario game.
Never.
Never.
Wait. Not even Mario Kart.
Mario Kart doesn't count. Mario Kart,
This is his name.
because that's not Mario gameplay. That's racing. That's a racing game, right? That's a kart racing game. That's closer to Crash Team Racing than it is to Super Mario World or Super Mario 64. Mario platformers, let's say, never enjoyed a single one. Because they just, I don't know, I'm happy to say it's a me problem.
Have you
but
played all of them? At least
I've given just about every single one a chance.
Odyssey, you have not.
I'm not going to play Odyssey, it's like 50 quid.
Wait, no, because that is the best one.
I don't care. None of the others are, I don't enjoy any of the others.
I will lend you my copy so that you can play.
Well,
this. I want you to come back and tell me,
maybe I'll be
because you
wrong.
probably will love that game.
Maybe I'll be wrong, maybe it'll be the one, but every single one I've picked up, I don't like how he controls. I find him awkward. I find him floaty. Like, you know, and Mario 64's the greatest game ever, and it's one of the most influential games ever. And it still holds up. It does not hold up. He floats about. He controls horribly. And maybe it's because I was raised on Sonic and Streets of Rage, right? Hey, Sonic is a infinitely worse franchise, right? But at least I've enjoyed a couple of Sonic games, but I can't get behind Mario's controls. I find it dull. I don't like how his stupid little run. Like, I don't think he's an interesting character. So, like, what is there to make me? Why should I like Mario games?
No one's forcing you to.
Exactly. But you all kicked off. It's steam coming out of all your ears. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I'll tell you, it's a me problem. Okay, it's a me problem. But don't like him. Mario Kart's fine, but that's a racing game. Love Mario Kart, but don't count.
So they want spice, they said, and so I thought, well, what's the most ridiculous thing that I thought at a time that I could just say to a mass audience? Now that was that I enjoyed Gotham Knights more than God of War Ragnarok. Now let me break that down. No, I thought that God of War Ragnarok, I'll just not hold back whatsoever for this video. I hated playing as Atreus. I absolutely despised it. I hate the part when the camera goes out of the bedroom when you're playing as Kratos, and all of a sudden you have to play as Atreus. I just really didn't want to do that whatsoever. I actually put the controller down on the table, and I just thought, I don't want to do this whatsoever. I just want to play as Kratos. I don't want to play as the crappy little child with the bow and arrow that just makes him a generic PlayStation character yet again.
But you would rather go and play the absolute cheesy beat 'em up that is Gotham Knights and deal with the whole.
I did do that. I did everything in Gotham Knights. I really enjoyed Gotham Knights. I thought the combat wasn't phenomenal, but I really liked it as a sort of spiritual sequel to Arkham Knight. I probably enjoyed it more than Arkham Knight, to be honest. Mainly because just the way that they set up, I love the art direction, I really like the character writing. I legit think the writing in Gotham Knights is really solid. And I like how they sell the idea of, you know, there's this version of Gotham that needs protecting after Bruce Wayne has disappeared, and I think they nail that stuff. I really like rotating through all the different characters, how heavy Jason Todd is, how flippy Robin is. I had a lot of fun with Gotham Knights. I get that game is completely addled by performance stuff. It's still locked at 30 FPS, and it was less than that when I went through it. But I had a lot of fun with it, and that game wasn't forcing me to be a character I didn't want to be for about 8 hours or whatever the hell that chunk of Atreus stuff is. All the Ironwoods, all the Atreus stuff, all the bow and arrow PlayStation 101 stuff, I hated. So that I had way more fun with Gotham Knights, completely personally, subjectively, than I did with God of War Ragnarok. Spice.
Wow, I mean,
Salt Bay.
So you said before that your one was a you problem. My gaming take is also a you problem, because I'm going to be saying that BioShock 2 is better than BioShock Infinite.
Oh, BioShock 2 is the worst one!
It's not, though, because Infinite is one of those games that bloats itself out by thinking that it's way more clever than it actually is. Its gameplay and gunplay is very restrictive. It constantly tries to be something it's not, and it introduces a ton of like moral dilemmas that it isn't actually interested in dealing with. It goes, hey look, racism is bad, but doesn't engage with it in a way that feels like it's there.
I will confess it's all racism is bad, but also fighting racism might be just as bad. Terrible message.
Basically, we're left with this game that is like trying to have lofty aspirations, and it's also set in the clouds, but at the same time doesn't really get off the ground. Whereas BioShock 2 is The thing is that I enjoyed Bioshock 2 for what it was, because I fell in love with Rapture the moment that I went into its dark and watery bowels, and basically exploring around again, but with like more aggressive enemies and the big sisters. I had such a good time with that game. Plus, I loved the way that all the way through the game, you're led to believe that you're going to get another Frank Fontaine, hey, you got a son, Fontaine. And I thought that twist was going to come again, but you're actually led to believe that the capitalist is going to betray you once more, and he doesn't. He actually is the good guy and gets a hero sacrifice. So yeah, I like the way that it introduced some nice elements, gave you another chance to go around Rapture, and it upended my expectations again.
I think that the Last of Us TV show is so much better than the game, because I don't have to play the TV show. That's a big reason why. I never got all the like crazy plaudit that game got. It's just very middle of the road to me. It never leans particularly in any fascinating direction. It's got a bunch of sort of like quasi-stealthy, quite like whatever, but it doesn't actually do anything inventive, does it? Like it's like okay, it's just, yeah, exactly. It is a hodgepodge. It's the current. Not that I have any bad feelings about Uncharted, but again, great games. Didn't really do anything exciting, though, did they? It was just a video game. Like okay, sure, the narrative is like the big thing. So which is why it works so much better as a TV show, because I don't have to play the terrible gameplay sections.
Terrible gameplay.
It's just
Terrible gameplay.
Just a slog to get through. I just slog. It was a slog. And even then, to be fair, the narrative's fine. But when it came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's changed video game storytelling." It's like, has it though? There have been.
Do you want another spicy take?
Don. So you should. Like, it wasn't the first game to have an interesting story. We didn't go from Mario Brothers to Last of Us. There's been a progression there, and the same thing's happened with the show, right? Where it's like, it's broken the curse. Like, it's great. Obviously, I loved the show, but like, I don't know. That video game's not good. It's not good.
Wow. It went from I didn't enjoy to that video game's not good.
Yeah.
Objective.
Something about this couch is what it is. Do you know what? I'm going to lean into this.
Yeah,
I've started. Yeah.
So, you mentioned yours is a you problem. This is an everyone else problem. My hot take is that Elden Ring is a terrible game. So, I mean, where to even begin? Like, I'm a dad. I only get like 2 hours a night, if that, to game. I don't want to be spending my time just rolling around, hitting people, dying, rolling around, hitting people, dying, doing dungeons and stuff. Like, take it even further. I mean, Dark Souls sucks too. Elden Ring is just...
What have we done?
It's just open world. Like, everyone keeps saying, like, oh, the open world's so good, it's so inventive and all this, but, like, is it? It's just another open world game. Like, there might not be map markers, but it's still terrible. Like,
It's just another open world game.
it's not good, in my opinion. Like, I don't click with the gameplay of the Dark Souls series, the Soulsborne, whatever you want to call it, and the community's like, oh, get good. I just don't know. It's like, it's not my cup of tea, and like everyone's like, oh, it's game of the year, it's best game ever made, and all this stuff. Like, not for me. Not for me.
Give me Resident Evil 4 again.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's go back. It's a confession and it's not a take. I need to put that forward right now. I'm not going to say that this game is better than other games. I know this sickness is my own, but Doom 3 is my favorite Doom. My favorite Doom in the entire franchise. And I know that's sacrilegious because it's the most un-Doom-like game in the whole series, and I love so many of those titles. I love Doom Eternal, I love Doom 2016, I love the original Doom, I love the music, I love how fast-paced they are. But if I'm truthful, Doom 3 is the one I like to go back to. That kind of atmospheric horror is what I aspire to, and what gets me in, and what tickles my pickle every single time I sit down to play it. You know, whether it's Doom 3 VR, very good. Whether it's Doom 3, Doom 3, the remaster, the BFG edition.
Yeah.
Nah, but in all seriousness, I just think it's a genuinely underrated game.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It's a little bit derivative, of course it is. It's more of a tech demo than it is an actual game, of course it is. But I like stalking those metallic hallways, and yeah, they're a little bit bland. But there's something about a little zombie jumping out, and you have your tiny crappy pistol that's so un-Doom-like, and you just take them out with it, and it has a kind of bad feeling shotgun, I still love it. I love it for its imperfections.
Your
There's
favourite
something
Doom is the one that has the most un-Doom-like thing.
a little bit,
look,
isn't it?
It's still better than Doom Eternal.
Now, what he's done though, he's been clever about this because he's actually still praising Doom, and he's going to get all of like none of the heat because the Doom community is just going to be like, well, he's not saying that Doom's bad. He's just saying that this one that gets underloved.
That's
You're
it.
clever. You're
Yeah,
clever.
that's
about
it.
this, man. You've worked us.
They're all 10 out of 10s. In Doom 3 is an 8 out of 10.
It's not-
That I happen to love. That I happen to love. I've circumvented the format. Please love me.
Well done.